This is what happened to 11-year-old Madalina Koshikari and how she was last seen getting off her school bus. Madalina was born on April 11th, 2011 in Moldova to her mother Diana. Not much that we know about Madalina's bio dad, but Diana pretty much raised Madalina all on her own. A few years after Madalina was born, Diana met a man online named Christopher Palmeter, who was actually 23 years older than her. Christopher lived in Cornelius, North Carolina, and Diana still lived in Moldova, so they were doing long distance. Then, one day, Christopher flew to Moldova to finally meet Diana in person, and when he got there, he proposed to her. Two of them got engaged after only knowing each other through the internet, and Diana decided to move with Madalina to North Carolina. Three of them lived in a very safe neighborhood, the house was very nice, and they were honestly pretty well off. A couple of times a week, the family would go out to eat at a local restaurant, and everyone just felt like they were a normal family. However, everything would change on November 21st, 2022. Monday was just like any other Monday. Madalina went to school, and then later that day she was seen getting off her bus at around 4:59 p.m. However, the next day, on Tuesday, November 22nd, Madalina never showed up for school. Then the day after, on Wednesday, Madalina once again did not show up for class. The day after that was Thanksgiving, so there was actually no school, but then when Friday came around and everyone was supposed to be coming back to school, Madalina once again did not show up. Crazy is that this didn't really raise flags for any of the teachers. I mean, Diana hadn't called in to let them know that Madalina was sick and that's why she was missing all of these days. She basically just went MIA and the teachers just went about their business. It wasn't until 3 weeks later on December 12th when a school resource officer named Jane and a guidance counselor named Miss Lampkin got together and realized that something was wrong. It had been 3 weeks since anyone had seen 11-year-old Madalina and no one had heard from her or her family. Decided to go to Madalina's house to knock on the door and see what was going on. However, when they got there, no one answered. They decided to just leave a little truancy packet on the door and then they just left. 2 days after this home visit, on December 14th, the school finally heard from Diana. She called the school and said that she wanted to come in the next day with Madalina to talk about why she was absent and to just fix everything. So the school agreed to the plan, and the next day it was time for the meeting. However, when Diana showed up to the school, she was alone. Her daughter Madalina was nowhere to be found. The school's like, okay, what is going on? Where is Madalina? And that's when Diana tells them that she actually hasn't seen her daughter since Wednesday, November 23rd, just 2 days after Madalina was last seen getting off the school bus. Of course, the school calls the police and they start to question Diana, and they also bring down Christopher to question him as well. Diana says that the last time she saw her daughter was on Wednesday, November 23rd at around 10 p.m. She saw Madalina go up to her bedroom to get some rest, and then she actually got into a fight with Christopher. She didn't elaborate what the argument was about, but the next day on Thanksgiving, she went upstairs to go wake up Madalina, but Madalina was gone. Okay, more in part 2.